essay on terror. If this they do in the greenwood, what will they do in the dry?
Behind the glazed eyes of the bent old lady who carries her belongings down hostile streets lurks terror. Free enterprise has priced her out.
The 18-year-old. No college, no job. His enterprise can't be free. It has to be military. Outside he's macho, and inside he quakes in terror.
The young mother, 12 stories high in the project, watches TV with her children, too scared to send them into empty halls and anonymous streets.
The young boy goes numb before the alien test set to diagnose his unfitness.
When this war we're already engaged in, this cold, hot, lukewarm war finally bursts fully into patriotic flame to avenge all that scroungy third world terror,
then terror full grown will engulf us all,
exempt
as well as expendable,
certified old and unqualified young,
e
pluribus unum at last.
Jerusalem, Jerusalem, are the only terrorists?
Crazy Arabs,
Wild Irishmen.
Sandinistas,
Semi-Marxist kooks?
FLAN,
Sandinistas.
Sandinistas? We terrorize them with the Contras.
The English terrorized the Irish as far back as Oliver Cromwell.
and Haiti is an isle of terror. People forced by hunger to work for $2.64 a day at Sears Roebuck satellite companies.
Maybe we should start a new crusade to make the Holy Land safe for credit card pilgrims. Shall we study St. Francis, visit the Sultan, read the Koran, learn the culture of camels? Jerusalem, Jerusalem, city of peace, Salem,
Shalom,
Salam.
Salam.
I don't know. I don't come from there. I don't go there. But they've got to hurt. Those wounds. The boys running in torn jeans. The boys hanging, guarding their corner. One boy said,
I don't want to die, but I don't care if I do.
they have to know. They must know. Seems like slingshots on the news. 6 different shootings, one street, one night. And I sit here with this stupid look on my face. One boy grins in his blood, waiting for help.
Hey, baby, this ain't nothing.
He lifts his shirt to an L-shaped scar.
This L for love, baby. I love you.
The girls who gathered round him smile shyly, mixed with cops. They want to take him home. They want to cover him up. The police tape could be a ribbon. I don't know. I don't go there. I don't come from there. Sitting on my own corner, imagining 18th Street.
I love you, baby.
Something's got to lift from their hearts when they stop pumping blood. Something's got to shoot straight into the sky.
I love my gun. Love to feel the cool metal easy in my palm and know that heat is just a tight grip squeezed away. When I'm walking down the city between the rows of dusty lights, I feel my gun heavy in my jacket pocket, and I know I have control. I've seen movies, and in the movies people die because they didn't have a gun. Everyone should own a gun. Guns are good. It says so in the Constitution.
It was the police tape around your body. Stains my shagged wall to wall will never lose. The guy closing each of your eyes. Scalded myself with tea today. Felt okay. my third day off from work allowed for immediate, well, for death. The horizon stretches so far today, no one would get there. No one would want to. Planting tomatoes. There's a certain light, I believe, that the particles of you glint in, where you continue conversations as if nothing had happened. Caught my hand in a revolving door today. Felt okay. You've been dead 6 weeks and 2 days and... Do you hear music? And I don't know what the future holds for you. According to work, I'm despondent, urged to use vacation time. My plants grow more every day, and I call them my death tomatoes. Your name is dwindling on our mailbox, and I have a good black marker to cross you off fourth-class mail, and I'll get you off everything in some time. It's been 5 months. I lost my job. I say due to Dad, but it's not well received. I take out my canned tomatoes sometimes and hold them to the light, turning them for glimpses of you. I've been to 7 different places now to get away. But more and more, I don't think there's a place for that.
I hadn't thought to go to the funeral, or even the wake of Johnny B. I didn't know him that well. He'd only attended 2 classes back in September and skipped the rest of the year. But his friends are my friends. They call me brother. They call me cool. Then I remembered 3 Junes ago in the cottage portable, where I was teaching then, he and a couple of others dropped in to chat while I was marking papers. Johnny, though he couldn't possibly pass, he'd skipped most of that year too, wrote me this on his that day's activities. Today we went to Jefferson to see our old teachers. When we got there, the police was all around the school. And they told all of us to come here. So Anthony and Robert rode off on their bikes. Brian didn't run. So one copper said, "Come here, nigger." Brian went to him. He pimp-slapped Brian in the eye and hit him again and stashed his jacket from around his neck. Started beating him with it. So that was all over. So Robert said, "Brian, Eddie, Pete, let's slide up to Frable and mess with some of them teachers." So we rode up here. First teacher we saw was Mr. Morgan. So Robert said, "What's happening, Clyde, with your big head?" Then he went to the front of the school. We saw the janitor, Mr. Morrell, Mr. Ritzo, Mr. Dawson. Anthony said, "Fat Morrell." Mr. Morrell said, "Boy, come here. Bring your ass here." He said, "I'll see you tomorrow." Anthony said, "That's what you think." So I slid into the funeral home to pay my respects to a 16-year-old adult. Tough, disillusioned so early, wearing shades in the coffin, the Brotherhood emblem sworn to fun draped overhead, loyal to the end that came too soon, shot dead by a brother of a different hood.
Sometimes patterns of stars in small white flowers laced through the grass. Mothers sway to their baby's breath, sensing intelligence by the way one grasps a spoon, blinks at a gust of wind. I tell Richard we will need yards and yards of material for this baby. We'll fold up like a fan at night. We'll float like a bat in my stomach. A baby who will learn to lie still and cry and spit. His whose legs will not be tied together, who will not be thrown into the river. Between slices of orange and whether it hails or night, we can wander over the cracked ground together and call the world imperfect.
And on Sunday afternoons, in the park, mothers and their children gird for battle with dealers and their clients. And on Sunday afternoons, in the park, they are not pointillist impressions. There are no monkeys in collars, no umbrellas against the sun. They might have a gun at home, but they would never admit it on the street. Their weapons are ideas on placards and mother faces and baby bodies and God's own righteousness. Dealers only have to wait until Sunday evening when the cruise begins again, and they will find a way to get high. It's their own ingenious expertise. They are cleverly resourceful at getting that needle filled, getting that rock chopped with a business card, making a hash pipe out of a Tampax tube. Just the good shit, babe. You find the guy who knows the girl, who's holding for the man, who's cousins with the neighbor of the man who makes the buy. Just the good shit, babe. It's the right weight. Look at that color. I know my product. Sure, it's pricey, but hey, you play, you pay. And that's long green. We don't take no master charge, no American espresso. But don't leave home without it, because my boys got your crib case. We know what time you go to work. We seen you carrying that VCR, that Sony, and that car you drive, an Avanti. Man, he's got him a Walkman, a Talkman, Microman, Suckman, Bowman. Fuck, man, he got a transformer to plug it all into his cigarette lighter. So what if you got a dog? I got a pork chop full of downers and a brick upside his head if he ain't hungry. You knew in this neighborhood.
I am comfortable. I'm truly comfortable here in my living room, on my leather futon, a drink in hand if I want. Oh, I've taken walks before. Took me many places. Back at home. Turn on the TV set. The frame shows an old World War II bulldozer pushing the mound of legs and skulls into one giant mass grave. The belief being, I suppose, that once the mind has been misused in such an extreme way, for so long a period of time, that what one does with the shattered physical remains really doesn't make too much difference anyway. What's that window opening? State Street. And it's just like Market Street all over again. Clouds of red dirt rolling through my mind, crashing on my windows and ruining all the snow white shag. Electric neon, screaming slogans, piercing hearts, corrupting minds of flimsy, sick society. I'm sorry. I just cannot believe in you. All I see are snow white hoods and big black shiny boots, and I'm crawling with the rest of the scumbag humanity. Hard to swallow. I wear mirrors to throw it back. Eat oysters, chill, right in the half shell. Drown myself in sparkling wine. If you want to blame me, then go ahead. Personally, I don't give a damn what you think, because I don't care about you, and I don't care about it, and I don't believe in love.
To hell with you! Barely explained the night the Taco Bell was robbed off State Street. His gun, his cat, your exit off stage right. And me, half drunk in my seat, tostada grande laughing with my Coke. Before you left, you looked upset.